Okay, this video is going to take you through a couple of activities regarding a talent show, and we're going to relate that to methods later on. But the Chapter 5 topic is methods. And so, but right now, don't worry about methods, don't worry about Java. Basically, the first thing you need to do on this particular page, Intro to Methods Part 1, is to take this program. Now this program is, the idea is that this is the itinerary or the order of events for a talent show, but it's not in order, so if you read it from top to bottom it's not going to make sense. So the idea is for you to put the sentences in order, or the lines of text in order, chronologically. In other words, what's logical as far as time goes. So you're going to just number the boxes over here on the side from 1 to 19 in the order that they should happen in this given talent show. So do that, and then we'll take a look at the answer key to see how you did. Alright, so this should be your answer key. You start with the MC welcoming everyone, and then asking Christy to go up first. So Christy does her thing up here, 4, 5, 6, and then the MC thanks Christy for her performance and then calls up Dale, and then Dale 9, 10, 11 up here does his thing, and then Sally is down here, so 12, 13, and then 14 he asks Sally to do her thing, and so she does her thing, 15, 16, 17, and then it finishes here thanking Sally and then thanking everyone for coming, and that the show is concluded. So hopefully that's what you got. And so now what we need to do is now go on the back of the page to Intro to Methods Part 2. Okay, so now in Part 2, what we want to do is answer these questions. Just do the best you can as far, think of what I'm looking for, and then at the end, or when you're done, then come back to the video and we'll take a look at and see how what I was looking for. So go ahead and do that and then come back. Okay, so hopefully you did all the questions on the talent show program questions. So 1A says, who starts the talent show? And so as you look at this, what you should see is that you have the first thing that's mentioned or said chronologically is welcome everyone to the 3rd Annual Neighborhood Talent Show. Well, if you look at the code up here, or the text up here, you can see that there's an MC, or a Master of Ceremonies. So logically that's the person who is going to start the talent show. And then the next question is in 1B is write the code that's associated, the Java code associated with your answer to 1A. And so the Java code, really the only code really in here is, other than the braces, is this main method header. So this line 22 is the Java code that's associated with the MC, or the Master of Ceremonies. Question 2, what line calls Christy into action? So as you look at here, you see that, and then it says to highlight that line of text. And so as you can see, it says down here, it says, Christy, you are up first. Now after the MC says that, then then Christy actually gets up. And let's see, this that's really weird. So once Christy hears the MC say, Christy, you're up, then she gets up and does her performance. And so we want to highlight that line of text. Okay, that's one of the things that was in the questions. The next thing is what line calls Dale into action. So once the MC says, I need Dale to come up, well, that particular line then is going to indicate, and it's going to call Dale into action. And then of course the last one is 34, where the MC says, Sally, you may come up at this time. Alright, so those should be highlighted. There's a reason we're highlighting this. You'll see as we go along. And so those particular lines call each of the performers up into action. Now what's common about all three lines of text that call the performers into action? That's number 3. And the thing that I was looking for is that you will notice that each one of these has the name of the performer in that text. It's specifically calling the performers by name. And you might think, well, that's silly. Of course they're going to do that. Well, you're going to see how that relates later on and how important this really is. So the important thing is that the name is used. That's what's common. The name is used to call up the performers to perform. Number 4, after each call to action, how did you know which line of text was next chronologically? So from 27, it says, Christy, you are up first. The next thing to happen, what's logical? Well, the logical thing is you look up here and you find out it says Christy performance. And so what you're doing is, again, you're looking at the name of the performer. And that's your clue to go up to line 10 after line 27. Then you go up to line 10 because this is the name or the person that's been called. And then the same thing with Dale. After line 30, it says Dale, you can come up. So logically, you're not going to go to Sally performance. You're going to go to Dale's performance and right up here. And so that's the key. It contains the name of the performer who was called to perform. Number 5, in general, what is common about all three of the people in this story? And so what I was looking for is all three of them did a performance. Each one of them performed some kind of a talent. Okay, and so that's the idea, is that they all three did or performed some specific actions or a performance. Alright, so let's see, let's do that. And then the next thing, line 6, in your printout, what symbol starts and ends? What symbol signal the start and end of each performance? And so all I was looking for there was, here's the beginning, so you have that brace and this brace. And so that's what I was looking for. Okay, the next thing, number 7, is put a check mark by the line of text that chronologically follows the last line of text for each of the three performers. So what we do is we go, here's Christy, and let's get this out. So here's Christy. This is the last line of performance. So where does it go after that? It goes down here. The next line logically was, thank you, Christy, for your performance. After Dale was done, he takes his bow. What does the MC do? He or she says, thank you, Dale, for your performance. That's the next line that happens chronologically. And then after Sally takes a bow that she's finished, then the MC says to Sally, well, thank you for sharing your piano skills. And so these lines are the ones that follow the completion of the performance. Now this is going to be important. So I was asking here, what is common about these three lines? What I was hoping for, and this was a hard one for people in class, is that for you to notice is that after the performance is completed, then it comes to the line below where it was called, where that person was called. So Dale was called here. The next line down is where it goes after the performance is done. And Sally, the same thing. So that's what they all have in common. And again, you might say, well, that's silly, but there is a reason for this, and you'll see as you go along in this chapter. The next question is which line contains a symbol that indicates the MC is finished. Of course, that would be line 38, this ending curly brace, because he or she just said, thanks everyone for coming. Our show is concluded. And then the question 9, when the MC is finished, what else can be said to be finished? And that would be the entire talent show, or the program. The talent show was done. Once the MC says it's done, it's done. The whole program is done. And so again, that's going to relate as we go on down the road. So now what you need to do is get the Intro to Methods 3, the Words program, and in fact what you should probably do is go to the video that deals with this, and then follow the instructions.